Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all so much for being here live with us. My name is Kimberly Sanders, and it is absolutely my honor and privilege to come together with such beautiful, like-minded people as we share the most precious opportunity that has touched all of our lives so deeply that it's ignited a type of life and cellular activation within all of us that we come together here every Wednesday and we share the most precious community of people because of a company that is pure and premium. And the founders of this company, it's completely grassroots. We have David Sandoval as our formulator and Amy Venner at the helm in the company on Long Beach. And I like to say we get our superfoods straight out of Compton, which is just the best ever. Our company has done everything that it can possibly do to go plastic free in the last 3 years. We've put all the money back into this company to be able to pay our regenerative organic farmers the best we can to have them supply this precious food for us, food that the earth is growing with regenerative farming practices. And if you haven't seen the movie Kiss the Ground or the documentary Common Ground, please see those because you'll be able to understand and wrap your mind around what this nutrition is. We're not a company with just protein shakes and supplements. This is a whole food, mineralized, downloaded piece of blessings in your life and a community that comes together to share their wisdom, share their transformations, and share their hearts. Miss Barry Springhetti just came on live with us, so I'm honored to have her too. And so the community comes together and we share our stories and we witness each other detoxify the toxins that they're spraying in the skies, that they're spraying on our food. They're spraying Roundup on food. Roundup used to be a pipe cleaner in World War II. They started using it as a desiccant to dry out the food so that they could harvest it faster. And if you wonder why there's Alzheimer's, leaky gut, fibromyalgia, obesity, ADD, ADHD, autism, Parkinson's, all the things, the list can go on and on and on. And all of these things, we get to have a solution in this offering. And I get to introduce friends that I've witnessed for years and years now come together with me. And I have our precious Kevin Luna with us to tell his story about how adding this divine nutrition from the planet has literally changed his life, and I could even say saved his life from a completely debilitating illness that came over him from lifestyle choices when he was young. Really, the thing is we don't know what we don't know, and when we find solutions, that's why we're here. We're bringing this here to you. I say placing it on the altar so that you can have this beautiful information and the tools to be able to bring to your community so that you too can help people have beyond organic superfood nutrition, all minerals intact, delivered to your doorstep in non-plastic home compostable packaging that actually brings more nutrition and goodness into the soil. And I do not know any other company after utilizing the superfood lifestyle since my 20s. I'll be 47 in January. I've been eating plant-based since I was 9 years old. I had terrible gut issues the moment I came onto this planet, had tons and tons of illnesses as a child, and that led to tons of antibiotics for years in my youth. And I don't talk about that very much. Like sometimes I forget about how much I was on antibiotics, like weekend after weekend after weekend. And so not only that, I've been needing to be gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, all of it. And so I have been looking for a company that is the cleanest, most pristine on the planet, on top of not wishing to eat animals at the same time. So the protein that we get to have in this from this company and the nutrition that we get to have is above all the most amazing thing I've ever gotten to find. And I went raw vegan in my early 20s, and now I get to live that lifestyle so wholeheartedly with even more support than I ever had back in the day. And so it's my honor to have people come through this and we usher you into this lifestyle. And so that's what we're here to share with you today. And Kevin is going to share his story. It's absolutely amazing what he has done. And I love that he is an animal activist. His heart is so genuine, so true. He has broken it open and like really put himself through some of the most heart-wrenching experiences to be the type of advocate he is for the animals. And he has gone into the places where people don't want to look. And that is why you can keep doing the things that you need to do. And I know some people really feel that they need to eat a certain way, and that's okay. You know, there's no judgment here. There's just more and more awareness. And when people can see that when you truly have high nutrition and the cleanest protein, you might not need to be utilizing the animals for your energy and for your life force to keep going. So that is what we have to share. I also have Miss Julie Brar on here as well. She has also been vegan for many, many decades. She's absolutely gorgeous. And so everyone here is just doing their absolute best. And again, no judgment whatsoever. Whatever we are consuming, we just love to share what is possible through being able to utilize this nutrition and be able to do this. So Kevin, without further ado, thank you for letting me share all of that. And please come and share your powerful story about how you have taken your sovereignty back and allowed your body to come into full homeostasis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you and I appreciate the space that you hold for all of us. And yeah, so I mean, when I was in high school, I was an athlete and I did a sport, springboard diving. I used to do flips and spins and twists and all that good stuff into the water. And I was #1 in Division I men's high school, but I used to eat Taco Bell was like my main source of nutrition. And I remember I had a nutrition class in college, and I used to think it was a joke. I remember we tracked all the food that we ate, and I remember thinking, this doesn't matter. Like I could still eat whatever I want, and I could still, go be an athlete. And it warped my mind because I didn't do that sport for very long. I just I just was really good at flipping and stuff on the trampoline. And so it just I naturally translated to flipping into the water. I just had to learn how to land on my hands into the water. And I learned it really quick. And then at the nutrition class, I remember we tracked our food. And I remember it was mostly like convenience food, fast food, like a lot of it. And I think a lot of teens, 18, 19, it was really common, we're eating like that and we think we could eat whatever we want. I even see athletes in the NFL, the top athletes in the world, and you ask them what they're eating, McDonald's and Skittles and Chick-fil-A, and it's like, that's not going to last, right? So at 25, I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease. What they said was my immune system was attacking my spine, and what I was feeling was it was causing extreme tightness and stiffness in my spine. And my spine was starting to fuse together. And they call it bamboo spine if it's like it just turns into like calcified so much that your spine fuses completely together and like a piece of bamboo or something. And if you don't treat it, you'll end up in a wheelchair and someone needs to take care of you. Because imagine you can't move your spine. Like you can't move left or right or forward or anything, right? You can't you can't tie your shoes. You can't wipe your own butt. There's a lot of things that end up happening, right? And the only thing they said that you could do was take this medication. And this medication was $4,000 a month. And that was the only option that they said. Today, that same medication is $6,000 a month. And I think it's the most profitable medication there is. And so what happened was I couldn't afford that. So I suffered for the next 4 years. And then eventually I had better insurance. And I went back to the hospital and I started taking the medication. And the purpose of most of these medications for autoimmune that they tell you is to weaken your immune system. And so if you weaken your immune system, then your immune system won't attack you, is what they say, right? But you need this forever also. So it's kind of like a weird logic that they have for you. And so my immune system was weaker, and I was the type of person like I'm not sick, right? Like I don't get sick, or I was like I could eat anything, I'm healthy, but I was suffering with this in silence because it was feeling like I was waking up at 3 in the morning every single morning like I was in a car accident with a broken back is what it felt like. So if you ever had a serious accident or anything like that where you feel like you can't move, that's what I felt like. So I would get out of bed like not able to move, like I would pull myself by my arms to the just my arms like the broken back it felt like to the shower to like get some hot water, cold water to like help that, and then the kitchen for anti-inflammatories. So I was living everyday anti-inflammatories. That's like I started at 18. I was in the hospital for prescribed anti-inflammatories for pain, right? Started into my hips, right? And then into the spine. And that's kind of how it happens. Then it gets to your neck, right? You can't move your neck, right? So the medication I started taking in a week of my immune system, I got really sick. I had the flu and I couldn't get out of bed for 3 weeks straight. That's when I was like really kind of starting to question the medication stuff, especially being so sick. And I was praying for anything to get better, like praying for a solution, looking for anything. And someone recommended me to watch a documentary about health. And I watched that documentary. It's called What the Health. I recommend anyone watch that. That was the first time I was paying attention to my health. Before I used to think it was a joke, like I'd laugh, at the nutritionist and what they said, right? Or the nutrition class, right? I didn't believe in all this stuff, right? And now I'm like paying attention because I'm like I don't know what's gonna happen, right? And that led me to try out plant-based. They talked about autoimmune disease as well, but the main diseases that a lot of people are facing, a lot of things Kimberly was talking about, but in general, heart disease, cancer, diabetes were like the main killers and the main drivers, and a little bit of autoimmune. But that made me super curious, and I wanted to try. And it's been now almost 8 years, and I haven't eaten animal products since then. But that was the first step, right, for me, and I haven't been sick since then. And that was like the first step. But then I started learning so much more. I was like, there's so much more to it. I just wanted to help people. I interviewed someone that reversed an autoimmune disease. And I found that was so fascinating. They told me everything that they did from fruits to superfoods to spirulina to all these things. And I was so fascinated that I want to learn more. I started reading more books about it, learning more about people that did this, right? And that's what I found was so valuable, was like what I was learning from the doctors was that something that they said was impossible. And that's fine from their perspective. But what I found more valuable was doing or doing learning from people that accomplished what I was trying to accomplish. Right. So I'm trying to, get this pain away from my spine, wake up normal, right? And I tried everything that they recommended, but the challenge was and I tried a bunch of things, from medical medium protocol, goodbye lupus medical protocol, all of these different ones, right? But the challenge was it was very time consuming, the juicing, not tasting good, not convenient. I would eat like or drink the juice, and then I would still be hungry and I'd go eat pizza anyways, right? So like there was like these missing pieces, like these missing gaps. And it wasn't until Purium came around because that covered all the gaps. It covered the convenience factor. It was really not that easy to make all that stuff, right? It covered the taste factor. It tastes so incredibly delicious. And it covered also the things that made sense that I was learning about all this stuff, about the soil and clean foods. But I was like learned about this, but it wasn't anywhere around me, right? I was living in the Middle East at the time when I first started in the desert, and that's you don't have any, you literally are in a food desert, and they're shipping everything there, from all the produce to all the stuff. They grow some stuff but very little, right? And so anyways, I needed food that had high quality soil like you're mentioning, but also for those with autoimmune or anything like that, you need to heal the gut. I had leaky gut, and that's something that I didn't realize. So even when I was eating good, all of it was depleting, it was going into my gut, right, and going into my bloodstream, and my body had to take care of it, and that's causing the inflammation and the pain, and also leading to like what's experiencing in the spine. It's kind of starting there for a lot of people, right? So anyways, that was the root cause. I needed to heal my gut and repair my gut. And so I was looking for solutions. I almost ordered right before Purium gut health, like a protocol to learn more about my gut, to learn about the gut microbiome. But I ended up not doing that and I went with Purium because it was the first gut health solution I'd seen anywhere. That like really made sense because I was looking at it from a very logical perspective. Like, oh, that makes sense about the soil. Oh, that makes sense about the nutrition. Oh, that makes sense, about the gut health when I actually watched and learned about it. And then parasites, right? I never seen anything about parasites and getting parasites out, but I learned that all makes sense too about our dogs, habit, and all the animals. All of these things together was what I needed, right? And so then it took me about 10 days to not be in pain so that I could sleep through the night because that was the main issue, that I couldn't sleep through the night, feeling like I was waking up with a like broken back. Now I can walk and or run like as quickly as I need to. I could wake up and start running right out of bed instead of crawling and like just until I feel better. Right. And that was kind of scary because I was like, what if there's an emergency? What if there's a fire? That also warped my mind of not thinking about the future. I was like, oh, I can't have kids. How can I protect my kids? How can I protect my family? How can I carry my kids? Right. So there's all these things that like kind of messed up my mind. But now I can run, I can go 30,000 plus steps a day, no problem, like full of energy, work really, really physical work, from all kinds of things, and so that made me think differently about the future. So now I believe, in having a family, having kids, and I also believe in helping, giving back. And that's what we've been doing. But also beyond that, like having places like for the animals, having animal sanctuaries, having places for healing centers and healing retreats. People need like things like that, they need extra help, they need extra support. Not everyone has, the environment around them or the family or the support system. So just building more things like that and just seeing like a brighter future, right? And not seeing such a negative aspect on it, because that's what happens to a lot of people with these diseases, right? If you have an autoimmune disease, the average person gets another one 5 years later, like a fibromyalgia, like a psoriasis, right? You don't see a bright future, right? And you often don't think you want to have a family. And a lot of people take their life, they delete themselves, right? Because the pain is so severe. This particular autoimmune disease is called ankylosing spondylitis, and it's the most painful autoimmune disease on the pain scale of all the autoimmune diseases. More painful than fibromyalgia, just near the pain scale of in terms of pain of having childbirth, right? And I think a lot of that motivated me to change, because it's so painful. And I think some people are like, yeah, I'm in pain, but that's just part of getting old, right? And some people aren't motivated enough to change. Some people, right? Especially guys. You see guys are like, they're not going to change for nothing. And I was one of those guys like, I'm not going to change for nothing, right? But I was in so much pain, right? I was like, and I wanted to live, which I thought I didn't want that, or I didn't know. It was not faced that I thought I was invincible. I was like, I could eat whatever I want. I have an iron stomach. Like I believe these things. I broke many bones and cheated death many times that I think I just felt invincible. And I think some guys act like that, behave like that, and believe that. It's an interesting thing. So, anyways, that's my story.
That is amazing. And the most wonderful thing is that type of story, we get to be the example of what's possible to bring people into this lifestyle and coach them through when there's that deep of dedication. And then we get to witness them really take on their own wellness journey. And then what Purium has done is they've made this opportunity for everyone to be able to step into conscious commerce and to be able to leave the paychecks matrix from working in a space where you're not outside possibly and you're trading hours for dollars. And it makes it so that your example of being the greatest version of yourself and loving yourself the best you ever have possibly as of yet, because even if you're eating a whole food organic diet and way of taking care of yourself, I'm almost confident, unless you are Christina, fully raw Christina, living on Hawaii, growing tons and farms and like literally living the best life ever, the type of nutrition that is out there is not going to nourish yourself to the point where you can truly allow your body to have cellular wellness going through it and to be able to nourish your body, detoxify your body, and do this. I love her so much. This woman, her name is Fully Raw Christina. I've watched her for over 10 years. She gets to live on Hawaii, have the best life ever, and she is a raw vegan, and she's juicing and she's doing all these things. That would be amazing. I wish everyone could, but Hawaii can't hold everybody. But Purium has made it so that we get to have food that's grown in it's grown in soil that has all the minerals and it's watered with volcanic ash spring water. So if you could be growing your own food in Hawaii and juicing and making raw food and just that could be your life, then hallelujah. I love that story. But after years of juicing for myself and eating plant-based and eating as raw as I could, there's never been a practice that has been this easy and this duplicatable. And so that is where we come in and we're able to share this. And Purium has offered a fully locked and loaded system so that you share your story with people and we bring you on this type of call and you get to be sharing your story just like Kevin. And it's so amazing. And so the people that can stick with it and really have your 2 shakes a day, 2 rounds of the Super Amino 23. You let yourself be loved by the biomedic, which is gut support, which is regrowing the gut microvilli and all of it. And then you have the dark cherry juice, which is an anti-inflammatory, and it's even able to, be an like a pain reliever for people as well that has inflammation in their bodies. So I would love to share. Kevin is this and what Purium does also is it helps you step into a type of creativity and a leadership so that you can share your story. Kevin has been able to share so much of his creations because of being and he does film and helps everyone in so many ways. So I'm actually going to play a video that he created so that you can hear a little bit about the
Introduce
I'm going
caramelized onion and chili oil.
sorry. 2 seconds. Let me try that again without it playing instantaneously.
Is it okay if I share something really quick before you
Introducing
start?
here the trans.
Oh,
Or is it already started?
oh my gosh.
Confidence or-
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm just doing yes, please keep sharing, Kevin. I apologize.
Yeah, so to something that you just said that made me think about sharing in general and like sharing videos and stuff like that. Sometimes people look at like the videos, whatever I create or anything that I share or I say, um, as like that they can't do it, but like everyone can do it, and I started at zero. Like I remember looking at someone making something on the computer. I'm like, what the heck are you doing on that computer? That doesn't even make sense. And I knew nothing about it. And everyone starts at zero. And same thing with anything social media. I looked at social media like, what is this? It doesn't make sense. I was like, okay, I get it. If you're like have a business or like, yeah, you're gonna share some things, you're gonna share your food, like you have a restaurant, like, okay, yeah, share your food there. But the reason why I shared anything on social media is actually for the animals in the very beginning, and still's like the underlying reason. I was like, well, everything that they're going through is nothing compared to what I would go through if I share myself online or I share what I go through. And I used to be very insecure. Like I would never come on the camera ever. I was born with a lazy eye, and that my eye was facing the wrong way, and I literally didn't want to talk to people, and so it was very hard for me. And so it took me time after I fixed that to rebuild my, confidence. And it took me a long time to even be confident to share, or even about autoimmune. I was scared of the vulnerability to share that, but the people that have been helped since then has been worth it. So it's always like these trade-offs, like that's scary and that's hard, but this is worth it. And so I hope that helps too, for like sometimes people see that, like I'll never wear something like this, like backwards hat, like not really care, not shave, just like just not caring as much, but you just you just start to care, right? And the story shares why I care, but these are some of the things that led to that.
Beautiful. I think I've figured it out. Okay.
Introducing Purium, the transformation company. At Purium, transformation means positive, lasting change. And with our ULT lifestyle subscription, we guarantee that you'll be looking, feeling, and performing measurably, noticeably, undeniably better than you started. This program is easy to follow and it's affordable. It's convenient and it provides maximum results for less than most people spend when they go out to lunch. The secret to success is to create a rhythm and stick to it. And we make it easy. 2 nourishing shakes per day and our incredible cherry juice before bed.
Okay, I'm going to do this one more time and we're going to get it to play properly. Maybe, Melissa, can you click on there and then share your screen? Because as soon as I share a full screen on YouTube, it completely wipes it out. So I'm going to make you co-host. Thank you for your patience.
Can you send it to me on the chat or my text so I can play it?
We'll just, Kevin, can you read? It's this one right here. It's actually in maybe,
Okay.
do you see it? Thank you. I just love being able to have him share, and he's so generous. He shares with our whole team, and we just wish to get this in front of so many eyes.
Can you please let me share my screen?
Oh yes, I thought I already did. Here we go.
Perfect.
That's not the one. I'm sorry.
Oh. We'll get this right, I promise. Okay. Well,
Kevin, can you put it
can
in?
you please, add it to
I can't copy and paste it.
Kevin? I love technology. It's fantastic. So much fun.
So oh, did we lose friends? Couple.
Okay. Let's try this again. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Introducing Purium, the transformation company. At Purium, transformation means positive, lasting change. And with our ULT lifestyle subscription, we guarantee that you'll be looking, feeling, and performing measurably, noticeably, undeniably better than you started. This program is easy to follow and it's affordable. It's convenient and it provides maximum results for less than most people spend when they go out to lunch. The secret to success is to create a rhythm and stick to it. And we make it easy with 2 nourishing shakes per day and our incredible cherry juice before bed. The 90-day commitment is critical to creating positive, lasting change. It has been scientifically proven that both good and bad habits are created by consistent behavior over time. And it takes 90 to 100 days of doing anything consistently for it to be ingrained in our subconscious, whether it's good or bad. So Purium is the antidote to bad habits because we help you replace unhealthy old habits with conscious, created, and healthier new ones. And many people ask, what will this journey feel like? And because so many thousands of people have done this before you, I could actually put it into 3 simple thoughts. You need to make a commitment, you need to stay consistent, and then you'll be transformed. The 2 shake per day, chariot night rhythm is critical. Don't forget, you need to incorporate 1 healthy meal per day. Now, after 90 days, you will form new, healthier habits and you'll be feeling, looking, and performing better than you have in years or possibly ever. You're now setting a positive example and people are starting to notice. I believe it's now time to recommit yourself to maintain this new lifestyle that you've come to know. Look at your health tracker and know you don't ever have to go back. The Purium is a lifestyle. It's not a diet, and it's definitely not temporary. Start to think about who you know that can benefit from similar transformation, and then reach out to your sponsor. That's the person who got you started on this journey. And remember, the first people that used toothpaste didn't stop when the tube was empty. The first people to use toilet paper didn't stop when the roll was gone. And the first people to use soap didn't stop either. They knew that being cleaner than they were before felt good. Purium is the ultimate internal cleansing. And when you feel clean inside, when you feel green inside, it's amazing and you never want to go back.
How do celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate
Oh, lovely. Oh my gosh, Kevin, how amazing was that incredible video? He created that, and you can see all the beautiful photos of him living his best life ever, and he's stepped into that. And so that's what we offer here for all of you, to be able to really come and be a part of a community that is super blessed and loving and celebrating and feeling the best we've ever felt, and we get to lead people into really sharing this. Do you have any last notes of advice, dear Kevin?
Yeah, I think the biggest key is just consistency. It's been 5 years for me now, living like what I just described in that video, and truly consistently. Like I've been so many places since then, and so many, traveling, and it's been a constant wherever I go. I remember when the last time we were together in Arizona, I was, well, of course we had a lot of options there to eat, the foods there, but I remember just walking through the hotel, carrying my watermelon and giving watermelon to everyone. And just, that's not make believe. That's reality, and that's how I live. Like I don't worry what people will think. Some people may think you're on a vacation and let's go to the restaurant here in the hotel and enjoy our vacation, but I feel better feeling better, and I want to always feel better. And so feeling better, equals, fruits and superfoods. And I'm grateful that I can have that everywhere I go. And it truly is my life, my breakfast and lunch at least, and sometimes it's more, right? And I'm so grateful for that, because it was a struggle and a challenge to find clean food. Even living in San Diego, where I am now, where it's the America's finest city, right? The local supermarkets to me is Walmart, is the closest thing if you look at location wise. And does Walmart have the best fruits and veggies in the world? And so that isn't my choice, right? And so I'm grateful that I have that choice wherever I am, even in America's finest city, or if I'm in the middle of the jungle or in the middle of the desert, right? And so that's what I'm grateful for. And it's a blessing, not a it's a to have that, that we get to have that. It's a blessing.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you all for coming tonight. And if you watched this video and the replay, then go back to the friend that shared it with you and let us know how we can support you by adding this beautiful lifestyle to you as well. Bless you all. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a beautiful night.